5:01, we'll get started. Keith, you'll have a word of prayer.
Would you bow with me? Dear Father, thank you again for all the wonderful things you've done for us. Father, thank you for giving us your son Jesus for our sins. Please, Father, this county's going through some tough times. We don't have the revenue we've had in the past. We'd ask you to be with men here who has the decision to do what's right for this county, for everyone in this county. Give them the strength and the desire to just do what's pleasing to you. Please be with us. Let us accept what's going to occur here. Let us all try to continue to love each other and do what's right. Thank you again for your son Jesus, for it's in his name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Two ground rules here, like everybody turn their cell phones off or put them on silent. Everybody remain calm. Talk one at a time when you're asked to. If you get out of hand, I'll ask Deputy Muncie to remove you from the courtroom. Just when we get to the part you fellows feel like you want to talk, we will have a motion and a second, and then I'll open it up for discussion. First item you see on your agenda, accepting the minutes of the last court meeting. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
We have a road crossing with Chesapeake Gas. Glenn has looked at it. That's what he told me.
Well, the guy called me and said Joe had already looked at it and everything was all right. And I called Joe and he said it's fine, so I didn't bother going.
I don't see him here.
I'd ask to table it till we make sure, or pass it on condition Joe approved.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to make
Got a
sure.
motion to approve?
Motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Thank you.
County road resolution. Do I have that? We'll pass over that. For some reason, I don't have it in my folder. KOHS resolution. Step forward, dear.
Hello.
Howdy.
I know that I'm a new face to you all, but I work at the Big Sandy Area Development District. I have been there about 12 years, but normally you all see Libby and Denise. I'm here tonight to ask you permission to do an application to the Kentucky Office of Homeland Security for a turnout gear for 3 fire departments. It would be one application, and it would cover all 3 of them. And it would be for the Inez Fire Department, Warfield Fire Department, and Turkey Fire Department. And turnout gear is just the equipment that they wear when they're going to
Do
the
you
fire.
have resolution needs to be read?
I do.
I'll give it to the clerk and she'll read it for us.
Okay. Yeah. So
Don't be
basically,
nervous, little lady. We won't pass it.
I'm not used to such a big crowd.
We ain't either, so you.
A resolution of the County of Martin, Kentucky, authorizing the judge executive to make application for and upon approval to enter into an agreement with the Kentucky Office of Homeland Security to execute any documents which are deemed necessary by KOHS to facilitate and administer the project, to act as the authorized correspondent for this project. Whereas Martin County, Kentucky desires to make an application for United States Department of Homeland Security and or the Commonwealth of Kentucky funds for a project to be administered by Kentucky Office of Homeland Security. Whereas it is recognized that an application for and approval of Kentucky Office of Homeland Security funds impose certain obligations and responsibilities upon the county. Now therefore be it resolved this 26th day of June 2014 by Martin County, Kentucky, the judge executive is hereby authorized to execute and furnish all required documentation, including a memorandum of agreement, as may be required by KOHS for the furtherance of the above referenced project, and to act as authorized correspondent for said project.
Motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Clerk, just let the minutes reflect that it was for turnout gear. But when you do the minutes, just reflect that it was for turnout gear since it's not in the actual. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll go back to county resolution. On the county roads, we have a couple of roads we need to adopt, whereas Martin County Fiscal Court is responsible for acquisition, maintenance of county roads designated as such in Martin County, where the list of which is attached here to Appendix A are hereby designated and determined and adopted by the Martin County Fiscal Court as county roads, as defined in KRS 178.010 of the Kentucky Revised Statute. It shall further action of the Martin County Fiscal Court operation of law remain a county road for the purpose set out in Chapter 178 of Kentucky Revised Statute. The three roads are Spur of Albert Pinson Road, Phillips Drive, and Carl Daniels Road. Passed in open court in Martin County Fiscal Court. Today's date this year. Motion. Second. All in favor?
Yes, sir.
Surplus property, like a motion to advertise for, I think there's one down your district of the project,
To Brian Wilson and Anthony Wilson.
and one up in your district, John, up there across from Calvary Temple Church.
We need to make a written finding, description of the property like we've done previously, and I will prepare that. Share that, what the.
Just doing the same process we've done before.
Yes,
Motion declaring surplus property.
but it has to be done before we can do it.
Motion second.
Motion.
All in
Second.
favor?
Yes.
Second reading of our budget. I will read it. General fund, general government, $1,197,692.41. General health and sanitation, $200. Social services, $4,300. Debt service, $110,500. Administration, $205,613.78. Other fringes, $470,633.57 for a total in the general fund, $1,988,939.76. Road fund, $24,000 for general government, $737,897 for roads. Administration, $95,413.22. Other fringes, $243,795.99 for a total in the road fund of $1,101,106.21. The jail fund, protection of personal property, $342,222. Other fringes, $71,542.33. For a total in the jail fund, $413,7633. LGEA fund, general government, $64,951. Protection of personal property, $44,925. General health and sanitation, $73,930. Social services, $1,300. Recreation and culture, $5,347.25. Roads, $220,090. Other fringe benefits, $167,966.52. LGEA fund total of $578,420.67. State grant fund, debt service, $534,340.05. Contingent appropriation, $5 million for a total of $5,534,340.05. Forestry grant fund, general health and sanitation, $100,000 for a total. Forestry fund, for protection of personal property, $2,600 for a total. Occupational tax fund, general government, $34,222. Protection of personal property, $283,037. General health and sanitation, $273,494.91. Social services, $50,000. Recreation and culture, $227,000. Administration, $1738.36. Fringe benefits, $143,144.33. Distribution to other government agencies, $139,000 for a total of $1,151,636.60. LGED fund, general government, $50,085 for a total. HUD fund, Social services, $100,299.78. Administration, $17,075, for a total in the HUD fund of $117,374.78. Sheriff's Office fund, general government, $328,396. Fringe benefits, $148,242.62. Sheriff's Office fund, $476,638.62. Total general fund, $1,988,939.76. Total road fund, $1,101,106.21. Total jail fund, $413,764.33. Total LGEA fund, $578,420.67. Total state grant fund, $5,534,340.05. Federal grant pride fund, $100,000. Forestry fund, $2,600. Total occupational tax fund, $1,513,636.60. LGED fund, $50,085. Total HUD fund, $117,374.78. Total Sheriff's Office fund, $476,638.62. Grand total of all funds, $11,514,906.02. That is the second reading. I will make a motion to pass the second reading. Do I have a second?
Second.
Got a second. Now we'll open the floor up for discussion. I realize that some of the managers don't want to vote for this. Me and Linda and most of the managers that looked at this, what this budget does is why it's such controversy. It either takes us out of the garbage business or we have to come up with a way to pay for it within 6 months. That's where the problem's been. We're $800,000 short in our coal severance, and that's what paid for our garbage all the years that we've had it. And most everybody knows that the coal severance is way down, and we just can't continue on the way we're doing with the free garbage service. We're probably the only, well, we are the only county left in the state that's offered the free garbage service, but if anybody else has a better idea of what they want to do, please let me know. You know, I told you in our previous meeting, the first reading, that I would come up with another budget. I have since decided, I guess I'm going to renege a little bit because I don't want to make a budget up that destroys our county. I just won't do it. If you guys want to come up with a budget, the way I understand this, the ball's in your court. I have done my duty as County Judge Executive through the KRS to present you all with a balanced budget. The state folks, the state debt local finance officers here, it's been approved by the state, and it's up to you guys to pass it.
Or not pass it.
Or not pass it.
Well, what I've got to say is we met with that recycling resolutions this week. Gary, Darryl, me, I couldn't get a hold of Victor and Glenn. And we was up there a couple hours with them when they told us that sometime in July they could run our garbage for free, and that we would get 2% back from all the other counties and Apple Valley and Waste Management when they start bringing their stuff in there. So I think we ought to wait and look at this free garbage that we're going to get burned before we vote on anything. I mean, before we
Well,
see.
that's what the 6 months is for. And I wish I could tell you that would be the savior of all. But
Yeah, but if we vote on this today, this goes, regardless. If we pass this today,
no, we got 6
then the
months.
6 months, it's still going to be good.
Hmm?
This budget will still be good after 6 months, right? So if we pass it today, it's going to stay there forever.
Well, we have to come up with a reason or come back in December and cut things out of the budget to make the garbage move forward. What my idea is go ahead and pass the budget in 6 months, let RST get started, if they get started. We've been waiting on for 12 years. Once they get started, we see what our savings is going to be, and then see how we can come up with a good plan. I don't want to get out of garbage business.
Well, then
I know
don't.
we can't pay for it. So if we can come up with a good way to pay for it, I'm all ears. We're all in this together, guys.
Yeah, I know, well, I can't see why we just can't, fix a budget the way it was a year ago, and then in 6 months, that gives them plenty of time to come in here and let us know if we're gonna do that stuff, because we got the money in here to pay for it
Let
now.
me ask you this. We fixed a budget like we fixed last year. If you remember.
We're pretty close, kid, I'm not saying
Well, listen to it.
item to item.
Could I address the court, please?
No, just a minute. We got $568,000 one-time thing from our single county money that Franker takes care of. And King's had a lawsuit that said we got $200,000 out of it. So right there, $768,000 that we had last year, we don't have this year. That's why that we're in the situation that we're in. I'll give you any that we had that money. We'd be here tonight, but we'd already been gone. So we can't fix the budget like we did last year. Wish we could.
One thing too, Judge, if we don't pass a budget tonight, we have all these county employees that aren't going to receive a check or any payday.
No, actually, when the rubber meets the road, it's June the 30th.
That's what I'm saying. June the 30th, Monday,
No joke.
okay?
But I guess the direction is pretty clear what has to happen. But let me introduce Robert Brown.
Well, now, that ain't just the ones that's working on the road, that's one in the offices too, they won't get no payday either, right? I mean, they're county employees too.
Non-essential
So,
personnel.
Non-essential personnel. Robert, you want to explain what my duties will be if this budget don't pass?
Absolutely, I'm going to refer to general counsel at the department, and then I'll chime in if need be.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, address the court.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'll stand right now. My name is Robert Russell. I'm the general counsel for the Office of the Governor, Department for Local Government. I have with me here today Robert Brown. Mr. Brown is the state and local finance officer in the state of Kentucky. The gentleman handing out this letter I prepared for you is Tom Dobson. Tom Dobson is our local government advisor. One of the counties that he is responsible for is Hardin County. And I'd like to read this letter into the record, if you don't mind, please. Has everyone got a copy of it? Yes. Dear sirs, it has been brought to my attention that the Martin County Fiscal Court has failed to adopt the budget for the upcoming fiscal year. The budget must be adopted by June 30, or I must take action pursuant to KRS 68350. Should the county fail to make the necessary changes to bring its budget into balance, the state local finance officer is required by law to intervene. Please understand, this does not mean this officer will act as receiver for the county. The SLFO will not enact a tax, or will not make cuts on behalf of the county. Instead, I would be forced as counsel for the state local finance officer to seek a writ mandamus in the county circuit court. In essence, I would be requesting the circuit court to force you, the county fiscal court, to pass a balanced budget as you're required to do under state law. While this is not a step that the department wishes to pursue, the department will have no option but to file suit should the fiscal court not take the steps to balance its budget. It is, however, a step that the department has taken in the past, and a step which has resulted in the fiscal court having passed a balanced budget under threat of contempt of court. To save this agency from taking the step of going to circuit court, we require you, the Martin County Fiscal Court, to do the job that you were elected to do, that being to pass a balanced budget. The state local finance officer hereby orders that you enact the necessary cuts or increase revenue necessary so the county and its citizens may have a balanced budget. The SLFO further orders that you immediately act to adopt a budget. As always, the department and the state and local finance officer are happy to assist you in this task. Should you have any questions or comments regarding this matter, please not hesitate to contact me. Hopefully this situation can be resolved in a manner that benefits Martin County and its citizens. I'm reading this letter today to you because I want you to understand how serious this is. And we understand in the Department of Local Government that it's not an easy task. We understand that you're in a very difficult position, but it's important that you know what you're up against. And like I said, we'll work with you. Mr. Brown, we're happy to answer the questions that was posed after we finish this. But we came today not as an adversary, but as a friend, and hopefully we can work with you and find a resolution for this matter.
Robert,
Yes, sir.
come here and explain to me what steps as county judge I must take if we don't have a balanced budget.
First, Judge, let me commend your efforts because you have did your job as you just said. As county judge executive, you have presented your fiscal court with a balanced budget. You've done your job. The ball now is in the fiscal court's hands. I want to advise state local finance officer that you understand that the decisions that you make in not passing a budget is going to have a tremendous impact on the citizens of your county. You was elected to perform a job, and the job is not being done as an elected official. And as state local finance officer, I'm here to help you to do that. But you got to be willing to do your job because you are the elected official. I'm not. Judge, as our general counsel said, we are highly advising that the budget be passed. I've already signed off on your first reading of your budget. Your budget was physically sound. Although you're not the only county that is not receiving LGEA monies. A lot of counties are financially distressed, and Tom and I, we have reviewed and approved 117 budgets. We are lacking one, and of course, it's Martin County. So a lot of counties are going through a whole lot of financial distress, and fortunately, they have been able to pass a budget for the next fiscal year. I highly advise that you all consider doing the same. Time is of the essence. We do not like coming down to the wire. It's very stressful on our end because we've done our job at the state level. Now we ask that you do your job at the local level as elected official.
Okay, well, let me ask you,
You're absolutely welcome.
what do I do? Come Tuesday morning, I don't have a balanced budget. What do I do?
Judge, I would try my best if I was you to have another meeting. For the record, you have. It's in your minutes, it's in the record. You've done all you can. Like I say, it's in the fiscal court's hands now. And we do not want to have to get involved with the writ of mandamus, making the circuit court force you to balance the budget.
Tell them about that.
We try to.
You will file a lawsuit in the circuit court right here in Martin County. You will ask Judge Preston to issue an order requiring this fiscal court to do your duty under law to pass the budget. Trust me, he will do that.
He will do that.
He will do that.
Now, I'd rather for it to come from us than from
And if he
the
does
circuit
not do
court.
it, if they do not do it, tell them what the judge can do.
What the judge can do if they do not pass the budget.
Or county judge.
Yes,
Circuit
what the
judge.
circuit judge can do.
After the writ is issued.
The circuit judge has the authority to hold the court in contempt. The last time this was done was about 20 years ago.
Breathitt County,
Which is Breathitt County. And that particular judge actually held the court in contempt and placed him in jail.
Fine and in jail.
But let me ask you this, I guess kind of missing the question. What do I do with the county?
Well, of course, as you know, expenses cannot occur after July 1 without a budget in place.
Okay.
So the employees cannot work. We don't want to get to that point, Judge. We can talk about that if we need to. So we want to stick with what we proposed in our letter and what we have done for you all at the department thus far and what you have done by presenting a balanced budget. That's as far as we want to take it today.
So when are we going to take it further?
Take it further. If the balanced budget is not in place,
Tonight, if they vote tonight to pass this balanced budget.
I would try to have another meeting. You have up until June 30th. Up until June
Can
30th is
I
Monday.
tell you something?
Absolutely.
This court, I'm perfectly willing to work with them on making cuts and fixing the budget. I'm not agreeing with this budget. And then they had another budget they proposed that had taken a lot of the funding totally out. I wasn't for that budget either. But I'm for negotiating and working it out. But I'm not for voting for this budget. You understand what I'm saying?
I totally understand.
I mean, that's just where I'm at. And if they want to stay all night tonight and all day tomorrow, I'm ready to work.
Right.
But I'm not agreeing with this budget either.
All right, well, the judge has presented you all a balanced budget, and as fiscal court members, you all need to work it out.
Okay, can I ask you something? How did you know we weren't gonna pass this budget tonight?
I'm sorry?
How come we got a letter saying it's been brought to my attention that the budget ain't gonna be passed?
He said,
How did anybody know that we wasn't gonna pass this budget or that we was gonna pass it?
I called him. I've been talking to him for 2 weeks.
And he said, if it's not passed, this is what they will do.
It says failed to adopt the budget. Don't say it's if, it says failed to
That's
adopt
what
the
he
budget.
meant. He just said, they don't want to do anything, John. He said, if that it's not passed.
Well, you know,
It's our job.
I agree with him, I work on a budget, I've been more than happy to kind of work on a budget. But, and I know my duty is to pass the budget. But I've also got a duty to the people of this county to do what I think is right for them also.
Right, you can change your, see, I think you all missing the point. He's presented you a balanced budget. I've approved that balanced budget. It's in y'all's hands. Change it. Change it, pass it. I'm telling you, you can change it. It's the fiscal court's budget now. You can make changes to the budget that he's proposed, and then you all can pass it. If you don't like what you see, change those figures around. For our purposes, we want it passed, and we will get a final copy of the changes you've made at the Department of Local Government. So you guys, y'all can get it down to the nitty gritty and work and change the budget. You can do that, but you have until Monday to do it.
So let me ask you, when we make changes, does it have to come back does it have to come back for another
For the
reading?
first reading?
Yeah.
No, sir. No,
It'll be an
sir.
amendment.
No, sir. If you've had the first reading on your budget, you satisfy that. Changes, you are to send that budget back to your fiscal court. The fiscal court can make changes to the budget without having another first reading.
And it'll be up to you to approve the next budget.
No.
Sir,
And then you can approve the next.
no, my approval is done.
Okay.
Now, my job now is to make sure that you pass the budget. That you pass the budget. But it's in you all's hands now. You all, if you don't like what you see, you can change that as long as it's balanced and as long as it's passed. And of course, when the fiscal year begins, you can amend your budget. A budget is an estimate. It's not exact. For example, you're not going to know if whether or not you're going to get more LGA money. You don't know if you're going to get any state grants or whatnot. Therefore, you can amend your budget. You don't know whether you have a bridge to go out and you have to declare an emergency. You don't know. So a budget is basically a framework a framework for your revenues and your expenditures. It's not exact. So you can change it once the fiscal year has begun.
Well, my problem is, I mean, we got somebody going to burn up garbage for free. Why charge people the county?
See, that's a local decision. I can't get in that. But Judge, that's our position, and like I said, we're here not only to assist you, but to the fiscal court as well, and definitely for the citizens of Martin County.
All right, I don't believe, guys, that I think you all said basically what you need to say, and I guess come Tuesday morning, I guess come Monday, I'll call you back, see if we got a balanced budget.
Well, actually, I'm hoping in the morning you'll call me back.
Well,
Reporting all night.
Believe it's happened. Yeah, we've had
Stephen, step forward.
Thank you.
Members of the report. Some of you know me, some of you don't. Victor, John, Kelly knows me well. Me and him served a lot of time together.
Wait a minute, back up. We didn't serve-
Not in the prison, but that animal service. The old animal service
Okay.
by the county. But actually, speaking of that, about 11 years ago, y'all was in the same shape. You had to have the Department of Local Government come in, approve your budget, right?
Relax.
And it was a garbage was a big situation back then, same thing. And y'all brought up the I mean, even this, Kelly, was from 2003 from Mountain Kiss Citizen, whenever you said wanted to stop outside dumping. You wrote a big article, I've got plenty of copies, and you was saying, you know, the sticker thing, which was a good idea, because there are a lot of outside garbage brought in from West Virginia. I've sat in line behind 2 or 3 waiting to dump. But whenever, you always want to pass the B&O tax, you all said the garbage.
Not we.
You wasn't on it then. I know, that's what I'm saying. You were the members that was on it, which I can tell you all of them, they were right here. But the garbage was supposed to be in, one of the things the B&O tax was covered, was it not?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay, ain't it doing it?
It would do it if it was being used for that, but it's being used for other things.
But it was
But we
supposed
also
to be.
lost revenue in that area too as well. It's like
But
when
how much
Excel-
of the B&O tax went toward the garbage?
Just like when Excel shut down,
Yeah.
we lost $145,000
That's a good question.
right off the top.
How much of the B&O tax budget is being used on the garbage?
Good question.
Anybody can answer me?
We have it in the LGEA because we moved our essential services, fire departments and stuff into the occupational tax where people could see more where it was going to.
Okay, well, I've got articles all from 2003 up to July 2004, every one of them. The budget proposed, you know, all of them said it'd take care of, help with the garbage. I mean, even several places, it was one of the first things mentioned. We'll find that one. There is estimated proposed tax would generate close to 1 million. Is that about what it brings in?
Yeah, a little over.
A little over, okay. 1 million a year, which will allow the county to maintain services such as free, in parentheses, garbage services, 911, money for fire departments, sheriff's departments, parks and recreation. But what they're on the top of that list, free garbage, in parentheses.
What was that date again?
April 2003.
This is 2014. We've lost all kinds of coal mining.
You're still bringing in $1 million, ain't
Coal
you?
severance money.
You just said you still brought in $1 million, which said
But
was
our total budget, we've lost $800,000. That's what we're trying to do.
There's the next thing. How much of our coal severance went to the
Can I finish my
referendum?
sentence, please?
Well, answer this, how much of our coal
Okay,
was
it's
severance?
not about getting out of the garbage business. We don't want to get out of the garbage business, say, we don't want free garbage. We want to balance our budget. That's what we're trying to do. It's not about garbage. Everybody wants to make it about garbage. It's not about garbage. We're trying to find a way to pay the county's way. We're trying to find a way to keep these guys working. We're trying to
But
find a
you're
way to
trying
keep
to
our fire
find a
departments out
way,
there.
without trimming the fat, to trim our fat.
Well, okay,
Our money.
here's the fat. The fire department, is that fat?
No, I'm on the fire department, been on
Okay,
since '94.
there you go. Is the senior citizen center, is that fat?
No,
Community center out here, is that fat?
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Why did we give you $80,000?
Is Parks and Recreation's fat?
no, but how much money do you waste?
Yes, Park Recreation's fat.
Well, seeing how
We
you wouldn't
win.
give us a part. No, wait, I asked for one, and what you tell us, we didn't even need one, is what you said. We use
You
one
don't.
bill to hold people, and that's what
You
you
don't,
told.
you don't need one, that's what I said.
Right, and we need one just the
So
same
you
as anyone
can't
else.
drive a mile down the road to Warfield Park.
5 miles, and when you get there, a little 6-year-old can't play with 15, 16-year-olds on a basketball field. We can't do that.
That's a different issue, anyway.
Yeah, here's my issue. Was
What
you
I'm
all
saying is,
passed this
you're
veto
saying trim
tax
the
with the
fat.
same scare tax?
Oh, I didn't vote for it.
Huh?
I didn't vote for it.
I know you wouldn't, neither one of you two. Boy,
I'm just saying, we're
none
talking
of you
about
all
trimming the
would.
fat. We're talking about trimming the
I'm sure I
fat.
didn't vote for it.
We're talking about trimming the fat. You say trim the fat. Okay. Fire departments have to be trimmed. Community, all these other things, that's not fat.
So you use the same thing.
You're not.
Every time something comes up, y'all want to use fire department, sheriff's department.
Because it's our
They want to scare us
responsibility.
with that. That's
It's
what
our
it is.
responsibility to keep the county running as a county.
I know that.
So.
Ain't nobody put no more dedication into this county at one time than me, and you can ask Kelly. I worked 6 months for free for an animal service. I didn't draw a dime
That's not
to
the
make
issue.
sure everyone had.
The issue
an
is our
ounce to show
budget.
up.
The issue is our budget and balancing the budget.
Right, so here's what I don't understand. Let's just look at this. Why did y'all wait till 1 month before this budget had to be due and then bring it up?
We've had budget meetings.
They've had budget.
But why have they waited so long? Public wouldn't on
I'll
time.
answer
It's
that.
due every
I'll answer
year.
that. Because I promised these guys I'd wait after their election. They asked me to wait, so I told them I would.
And then why does it have to be passed by December?
By December.
That's what you said you
No,
do.
June.
By June. I mean, why does
By
it kick in
Monday.
effect?
By Monday.
By Monday.
It's on fiscal
Okay,
year.
and
It
then
starts
so in
July
effect
1
when-
to June 30.
Right, I know the fiscal year. but,
That's why.
so, but you're still
Insurance on
taking in,
one.
you still ain't answered my question, you're still taking in the proposed 1 million, and that was supposed to go to garbage, so why ain't it? That's what, you know, right here, I've got all kinds of articles.
Well, we have a page in the budget to you that if we put all the sanitation in the occupational tax, you can read down the occupational tax and you take 600,000 out of that $1 million that's budgeted in there, then that's where all of our non-mandated services are at. I mean, you know, it's not none of these guys' fault that the coal mines is shut down and we're down $800,000. That's not our fault. I mean, I fixed this budget for it to be the least on taxpayers' money. If Warfield Fire Department goes to a class 10 or a class 9, your insurance, house insurance is going to more than double.
The Warfield Fire Department will stay at a class 5. Is that what it's at right now?
6.
6? It won't go down unless it gets shut down, am I right?
You're right.
Right, am I right? He's the one that got
I'm the one that got the ISO rating I got now.
And it will not go down unless that fire department shuts down and goes to 0 is the only time your ISO rating will go up.
So if they have no money, then how are they gonna stay open?
The fire department is budgeted in this. They got their money in here.
But if you don't pass the budget, there's no budget to work with.
Victor, I'm telling you out to your face, I am not voting for
My
this
next
garbage.
question
That's fine, John, I'm just saying, we're,
How much money
another
did we
option.
lose to the referendum project?
Now that, Stephen, that didn't affect, well, I guess it did because they holler off the top. That's something that the governor did. They took it off of the top before any splits was. So that's a question I don't know who could answer that.
Because Greg Stumbo said he guaranteed the counties that lost it would get it paid back.
Well, that was over all 40 coal producing counties.
Yeah.
So they brought it off the top and then it morphed off the top and then it splits 2 different ways and it's just, we couldn't figure it out. Yeah. If I was going to guess, off the top, $2 million split between the coal producing counties, it would be very, I don't know if there's a person in Frankfurt could answer that, to be honest with you. It's just easy for them, the governor's stroke of a pen to do these things and no rhyme or reason.
Well, one more thing now, so how much money did we lose on this year on the code taking us there?
We budgeted $1.5 million last year and we budgeted $800,000 this year.
Okay, and how much, so we're
138,000, almost 139,000 occupational tax. So it's about $850,000, $840,000.
is what we lost.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in 2012, there was 4,408 households by the U.S. Census. That's not counting small businesses and renters.
How many?
4,408 U.S. Census in 2012. That was just households. That would include renting apartments and stuff like that. So that's, now you say $15 a month.
How can we see anybody?
12 times a year would be $793,440. Now I ain't counting renters and stuff like that.
But
well, that's going to be well over $1 million.
I've got a problem with your $15. If we bid that out to somebody in this audience out here, we don't know if they're going to charge $15 or $30.
No, I'm just saying that's what they talk
So
about.
we don't know what the figure's going to be if
Right.
it goes out there.
But what I'm saying is, what they, they talk about maybe $15 a month, if 4,400 over, that's just what is on the census, but more. That would be that much money. So what do y'all, I mean, that's going to well cover it and you get your coats
Well, when we went through this
it'll never
before,
go down.
Hey, how much was it going to raise?
Huh?
How much was it going to raise?
How much money?
Yeah.
For just 4,408 houses would be $793,440.
Okay, and we're 840, so how are we going to come up with the other?
Now, that was 2012, and that ain't including small business. For instance, T&D, they don't have a dumpster. A lot of small businesses don't have dumpsters, they haul their garbage out. You got these people that rent little small houses and apartment buildings, that wouldn't include them, they haul their garbage out.
Okay.
That's more, it's gonna go well over $1 million, and that's gonna, that's, I just don't understand.
When Laffey brought this up, Waste Management walked in here with a 50-gallon barrel with their name on it. And they said there's no way, that's what, 15 years ago, Darryl? But they said then that there's no way that they could come in here then, back then, for $15 a month because the houses are split so point it'd be $25 to $30 a month.
That's exactly what,
Starting now.
I've got it right here too, they said it'd be 20 to 25.
20 to 25. Gas,
I
gas
got a
was,
good memory.
Yeah,
gas
I've got that article too,
gas was $1.25 a gallon at that time.
at that
And
time.
now gas is $4 or more.
Yeah.
And if you tell me that they're gonna pick up this county $15 a month,
No.
there's no way. They might do it for 2 months for $15 a month to get locked in.
But,
Then it's gonna be 25 or 30.
I mean,
Guys,
how
Apple Valley already does all the commercial services over here. They do all the schools, they do Rite Aid, they do the dollar store. They already have trucks running over here doing the commercial right now. So have they conveyed to you, Kelly, that it would be around $15 a month if they took
He
that?
hasn't got back with us yet, but Johnson County is $12.75. And he took the amount of households we had, and he was gonna get back with when he figured all these costs, and he said he couldn't see it going over $15.
So they're
Now,
already doing commercial
What
pickup.
I'm saying is, what Stephen's saying, that's gonna raise, garbage is costing us between $600 and $700, but what Stephen's saying is $15 a month.
He's
Now,
gonna
that
make
is
more money.
collecting 100%. Now, in Johnson County, they collect almost 70% of the households. So that cuts you 30%.
Got
but
about
what-
700,000 here.
Okay, so what kind of penalty do they put on them people that don't pay the garbage bill? What do they do with them?
The county attorney takes them, and they generally, what Tucker said, they find 4 or 5 of them $1,000, and then they told them that if they would waive that $1,000, if they'd pay the garbage bill up. But now that's
So they
not
can't
what-
afford a $15 a month bill, but they're gonna charge them $1,000 because they can't pay it. That makes a lot of sense.
I still don't see, I mean, the B&O budget, when they use it, they said it was for the waste, you know, we took care of the first thing. I can show you article. I think it should
That's
be.
years ago, though. It's all, we made decisions to put services in there of what people could see what their main.
Okay, so you made decisions to put other things in there, and then that took away from what the main goal of the purpose was.
So we can put,
When,
you know,
why couldn't you found other ways
if
to
these
take care of
guys
the
want to
nuisance?
put that in occupational tax, you know, like he said, the ball's in their park. If they want to put it all in occupational tax, we'd be more than glad to do that.
Well, I just want to know how
That's
much
up
of
to
the
you.
Remember,
occupation.
when you do that, you're losing fire departments.
I understand.
Senior citizens, parks and
I just
recreation.
wonder how much of it goes toward it. That's what I want to know.
That's what you're losing.
How much do we give the fire department?
About 100,000 between the fire department and rescue squad.
Well, is that all the money they receive from anybody?
Well, I think Jim gives,
$20,000 a year to each fire department. don't
I don't know if it's 20, is it 20 guys or 10 apiece?
Jim.
Anybody know?
Jim's business gives us 10.
Yeah, they give 10.
RJ's, which comes through RJ, we get 10 from Jim.
What?
My
The
insurance is
man don't we
$9,000
give
a
the fire
year.
department $20,000.
But I always know to
Yours
be
is 15,
10,000 apiece.
Do they get any money
What
off
did
the
he say?
house
He spent
insurance
something
when they
like
put
that.
out more?
What'd you say, Greg?
That's correct.
Jim usually donates from RJ, which is a business. He gives us 10,000. My insurance is $9,000, basically. I spent almost $4,000 on fuel last year. You're not gonna give me more than I'm gonna run on. I can't buy, I've got electric bills.
So,
You know,
but
maybe-
I guess what Gary's saying, you get 10, not 20.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's what IDIS gets too, I believe. They get 10, not 20.
But the only thing I was wanting to know is, like I said, the B&O tax, that's what, you know, when they went to pass it, they said, well, we're going to have to do it for the garbage, and that was one of the main things. And I just want to know how much of it went into taking care of the garbage. That was the only thing I was wanting to know, because
I
that's
don't
what
know, it just
the
seems to
fiscal court
me-
then said it would be used for.
It just seems to me like we're sucking these citizens of the county dry, one way or the other. They just get sucked and drawn in, and I've said my say. So
Thanks,
you
Dan.
guys can say
Thank you for
something.
the time.
Anybody else want to speak? I guess what you guys need to tell me now is, you know, we've got garbage in this budget until December. So that means that we're going to have to come up with probably around $300,000 to $350,000 in cuts in this budget. I've discussed some of the cuts with some of you. You know, another budget that we talked about you wouldn't vote for. I mean, you know, if you all think garbage, free garbage is more important than your senior citizens, your fire departments, I mean, you know, call me your report. Tell me what you want to do. Tell me what you want to do, John.
I done spoke my piece. I know what I'm gonna do.
Well,
Like I said, it's not about the garbage, it's about trying to balance this budget.
Right.
There's no one wants to put a hardship on anybody. John talked about draining the citizens. My mom, she draws about $7.93 a month, and she already pays $15 a month right now to have somebody pick her garbage
That's
up.
in her budget, right?
So
Is that in her budget now?
that's what she's paying. That's just the
A
point
lot
I'm
of people
trying
don't
to make.
have that, though.
I understand that, but it's a personal responsibility for each person to step up and pay for their own garbage. I mean, we can't afford to keep free garbage in this county forever. When is it going to end? And like this guy said, it's our responsibility to pass a balanced budget. We're trying to balance the budget. We're not trying to put a hardship on anybody else.
Sure.
You know, the only way to raise revenue is something else he mentioned, is to tax somebody. You know, we have an occupational tax. If you raise that by 0.5%, you're targeting those working folks that's already paying.
Well, the working
What
folks,
is fair, in my opinion, I mean, isn't it fair to say that if you have a household and you generate garbage, you should pay for your own garbage? Why is that not fair?
Amen.
You know, if the fire department loses their money, then they're going to get their money through subscriptions, or they're going to, so you're going to pay for the fire departments. We're trying to find a way to keep this county working and functioning as a county without having somebody else come in here and make our decisions for us here locally. It's our responsibility to keep these decisions right here in this county without having to bring these three guys in from the state to make us do what's right. What's right for everybody out there. If you can't pay for your garbage, what are we going to do with it?
What do you want them to do if they can't pay for the garbage? What do you want them to do?
Well, that's
If
my
they
point.
can't afford that
My
$15,
mom draws $7.93 a month,
What about the
and she's paying $15 a month. Bless her heart. And if she can afford to do it, I think everybody else can afford to do it too. And I'm sorry. That's the truth. That's the truth of the matter. Everybody stand up and take responsibility here in Martin County and quit trying to pass the buck. We're paid and we're elected to make the decisions right here where the rubber meets the road. We can't move forward and make progress as District 1, District 5. We can't do it. We have to be a total county effort to move forward. You know, it's just unreal that we can't do the right thing.
Why don't we go up there and get them to burn the garbage for free, like
We
they said they
we
could do?
wanted to. Listen here a minute. I was a part of that. I was a part of those contracts.
okay,
I sit right there. We've been waiting on them 12 years to burn the garbage.
Right.
If, for example, we do this and they start burning garbage, we can always change our contract or our franchise. We're in total control right here. And that's what this board is about, is total control. Without having these guys come in, twist our arms, say, here's the right thing to do.
Franchise, can you take
At the end of the term, you have a contract with them. But if we don't pass this budget, we're shutting the county down. These guys ain't gonna get paid back here.
We asked, we
ridiculous.
were told that they would take it. Tell them, Judge, what we were told.
we talked to them 2 or 3 times a day. And
Today, now, not yesterday.
And
What
they
they told
told
you.
us, both of us, 2 or 3 times, from their attorney down,
We talked to them Tuesday.
that they would love to be able to take our garbage in July. They didn't say we can't put that in writing. They said we would love to be able to do it. They told Mike Crum that in March of this year. We'd be taking your garbage in 2 weeks. They told us in 12 years ago. Now let me tell you what happened.
Judge, 12 years ago, they told us what? They'd love to take our garbage 12 years ago.
Right.
If, in other words, if they can take our garbage, what that means is they've perfected that process up there, and that's how they're going to make their money.
Okay.
sell the patent.
Let
We're
me
selling the
say-
patent.
Okay, let's say they do take our garbage. We budget for $165,000 for tipping fee, and that's what we pay a year. Now, they've done told you guys that they can't take anything that goes in the open top. We know that. And we take an open top down probably about every time we take a compactor station down. So out of the $165,000, if we save $80,000, we're going to be flying. But we're going to save some on the trucking cost too. We might be able to sell a truck. But let me give you a little history on RST. The very last court meeting of the administration that was there from '99 to 2002, they voted a contract in. 3 of the magistrates on that board voted a contract in for $29.50 a ton.
That was before us.
That was before us. Now, how is that looking out for the taxpayers? That was $29.50 a ton. We wrote another contract. John, you voted for it. Darrell didn't vote for it. No. I was there.
Well,
I was sitting right over there.
We came right back the following year and negotiated they're gonna take it free and pay us 6%.
They went from $29.50 a ton to 0, and from 2 cents to 6 cents. Now, we're 12 years down the road. We're still waiting on it. They'll call occasionally. They told me and Candace that they did some, they've been test burning garbage. Do you think they're getting our garbage and test burning it?
No.
They're getting it from Apple Valley.
In another county.
And they was a year and a half before they took in garbage because they were working on it.
Broke down.
They've been working on it.
They've been
That was
working on it.
today. We had a conversation 3 times today. Twice with Mr. Burke, once with their attorney, D.B. Kazee. He told us, he said they'd love to start generating money, but they couldn't guarantee it. And did they tell you they guarantee it?
No, they said they just not done it in July.
They've been telling us
Good
that-
enough for me.
If you remember, the first time I come on the court was in August 2000.
We have to make a decision right now about this budget. We
That's
can't
what they
wait till
said they did.
July.
I'd like to have a little clarification. Are we talking about that daggone cooker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lord Jesus, throw that thing in the creek and move on.
Been waiting 12 years.
But that's not the point here. Victor, we need to get back on point. The point is, the fiscal court has a duty by law to pass a balanced budget. Your judge tendered you a balanced budget. There was, I guess they've not voted on it yet, but what you need to do, either vote it up or down, and you've got to Monday to come up with another amount. If not, you hear the state's going to come in and sue you. They have to. They have a job like we have a job. You're going to go.
So I guess what
Guess
we,
somebody wants to speak.
go ahead, sir.
Is there any way you can trim the fat by not building another courthouse? Save
That-
money that way?
Well, you know, I'm glad you asked that because
We got,
that
got
don't
enough
even,
of them.
that don't even take in consideration this budget.
Is it in the budget?
It's not in this budget. It's in another budget from our single county money. Go ahead, Victor.
I said we had somebody that wanted to speak.
So I guess where we're at now is out of this budget here, guys, tell me, you know, I told Darrell today that he agreed to cut a little bit on everybody, but to come up with what we need, we would cut everybody in half of our the senior citizens, the fire department, community center.
So cut the fire departments in half?
Yeah, senior citizens in half, and lay off 7 people. We could come up with the money there. Now, there's several different ways. We can not cut anybody. I don't know where we would find any more than, 7 people would be 2 deputies in that 7. I don't know, guys. I'm in it with you guys. You all tell me what you want to cut, we'll cut her and we'll move on.
So lay off employees to keep the garbage as it is?
That's an option.
That's ridiculous. I got bills to pay, I'm sorry.
That's crazy.
I mean,
I think nobody sitting here wants to lay off employees, but there's a bunch sitting here that don't want to do away with the garbage. I think the garbage is a good service, and the people of this county, the people that don't have plenty of money. Now, if you've got plenty of money, that garbage, $15 a month sounds good, but then you'll still be mad when it goes to $30 a month, 2 years from now.
I think if you pay $15 a month, you have somebody coming to your house and picking up your garbage, it's a pretty good deal. like I said, my mom makes $7.93 a month, and she already pays Vanover. The only negative, in my opinion, is that those guys like Vanover's gonna get cut out. That's the only
Okay,
bad thing
here's the
about
point
it.
about it, your mom's paying Vano $15 a month.
Right.
If these other people in the county could afford that $15,
There's
they'd
a
be
lot of
paying
people
them
already
too.
doing it.
They'd be paying them
There's a lot
too.
of people already doing it. That's what I'm saying. We can't keep saying everybody can't afford it.
Well, let me ask you
We-
this.
Everybody has to step up and take responsibility.
If you don't want to get rid of the
Ourselves.
garbage, what do you want to cut? There's two options, he told you. You either raise revenue through taxes, or you do cuts. What cuts is people?
Carl, you want to
work on?
speak, people pay $15 a month, well, they bring it over here and dump it for nothing, and we haul it.
Right.
There you go.
That's right.
There you go.
And another thing too, that I said 15 years ago, that these people that's dumping from the other counties, I think they ought to have, if they don't have a Martin County license plate, they should have to show a Martin County driver's license. If they don't, they shouldn't have done it.
I agree.
Inez and Warfield both.
I
We
agree
get a lot of
100%.
Orange County garbage, probably 20% down here and probably 30% at Warfield.
Let's
It's not
say
our
we
garbage.
cut out everybody from West Virginia. Let's just say, for example, we could do that for, just for example's sake. Let's say we can stop everybody from West Virginia and from Lawrence County. If we saved $40,000, that'd be a big figure.
It's a huge figure.
We're not trying to overcome $40,000. We're trying to overcome $850,000.
Well,
You know, you can say cut everybody 2% on their wages. You're talking about $30,000. Lay off 2 or 3 people that make $15,000 or $20,000 and can't afford. You talk about people who can't afford something, you're sitting here talking about laying 7 people off that can't afford to do without a job.
I'm paycheck to paycheck, I can't afford.
So I don't understand the reasoning in that. How can you sit here and say, I'm for the poor guy, but I want to cut 7 of our employees?
Nobody wants
that
to
don't,
do it.
don't have.
Name me one message here that said they wanted to lay somebody off.
You all
Name me
mentioned
one does
laying
that said they
7
wanted to lay
people
somebody
off.
off.
Like
And Kelly
Kelly
said
said,
that.
cut everybody.
Kelly said that. We didn't say
I'm
that.
just saying, to me, it wouldn't be a good option.
Well, tell me what you want to do,
You're
guys.
saying $800,000, but we put in this budget, we put $300,000 to handle Kelly put $300,000 to handle the garbage for 6 months. Okay, if the garbage is going to say it's going to cost $800,000, why did he put $300,000 to handle it for 6 months? And
Well,
if,
there's other cuts in the budget besides. There's cuts all through this budget.
Community center's been cut, senior citizens been cut.
A little bit.
There's a little bit. I mean, the option is keep the garbage and cut them a lot, or get rid of the garbage and cut them a little bit. Even doing the garbage, you still don't have enough money to make the budget balanced.
But, you know, I'm not here, tell me what you want to do, guys, the ball's in your court. Listen, I'm with you.
I want to burn it.
Well, that's not going to make up $800,000, but what you got to do right now.
that may make up $200,000.
$150,000.
Well, then you're not counting your fuel and your labor taking it down the river.
They won't take off the $100,000.
They said they'd take anything except for construction wood and wood and metal, big metal.
Okay, and you know what we're saying? We're saying
Right.
if they get it running, if they take our garbage.
Well, you're saying
We
if
can't
on this 6 months
operate, we
budget
can't
too.
operate on if, that's right.
You're saying if on this 6 months budget.
Exactly, but at least we'll have our county moving forward and working. We're not gonna shut everybody down and send them home. That's the difference.
But, again, find me $350,000 in cuts, we'll cut it and move on.
Do you all have a copy of the budget?
Yeah?
Let's work on it. We're here. We got the money.
I'm ready to go to work.
What do you want to cut? Let's go through it.
I don't know what the number was on the tonnage for last year, 2013.
Is Mike in here?
Yep.
How much tons do we haul down there? 60, almost 6,700 tons.
700. And another question, I think you was one who told me y'all a few years back, the reason they never did start that, cooker's well called it there. Said it wouldn't burn a jar of pickles or something like that.
That's EPA wouldn't ship
Yeah,
no
wouldn't-
milk. EPA wouldn't pass them, like when I was in it before. They,
With all the technology and stuff, God, I don't know why they couldn't put it through a shredder and crush a jar of pickles. I'd take a I'll call back the vast majority of people with my hands, provide a job for somebody.
You know, we're sitting here in cold country, EPA is a tough bunch. Remember, in California, before you build a house with a fireplace in it, you gotta get a approved scrubber.
I don't care what they do in California.
I'm just telling you about the EPA and the Fiscal.
We need to get back there, what we want.
Yeah, I know. But I ain't heard from none of them what they want to cut.
What do you all suggest to cut?
I don't have my budget, maybe it's just this in here.
I ain't want it.
Got a question. What's to say that we can't turn the trash into a business instead of a thing where it's free? Why do we have to contract it completely out? Why couldn't we just leave it as a county-owned facility and you pay county?
We could.
Why couldn't we just do
I'd
that?
love to do that.
How many people, when you'll be willing to pay $5, $8, and $9 a month if we just kept it the way it was right now? And you take your own garbage off the way it is now?
I sure would.
And pay the counties
No
$8
way.
or $9 a month?
No way.
That'll save at least 2 jobs if you know what for a fact as far as drivers go.
Well, I think you've got a good point, because my concern is I don't want to see the local people hauling it get out of the job, but I don't want to see nobody working at a compactor get out of the job. Most of all, the elderly people who's on, like Victor said, $500, $600 a month, $700. You know, by the time they're out of their medicine and food, it's hard for them to meet them bills.
Amen.
You know, that's the thing, Mike, is, you know, we're not saying go to mandatory garbage pickup.
Right.
You either go to mandatory garbage pickup, get it completely out of our budget, or come with a revenue to do it, and the county stay in.
See, it could be a revenue
Really?
market. It could be a moneymaker if you do it right. I mean, you're not going to make a lot of money if you sit there and charge people a lot of money, because they're just going to throw it over a hill somewhere.
Yeah, that's where enforcement comes in, and I think we can handle that part too. But, you know, we even thought about sticking on the water bill. I mean, we don't want to make money.
Right, we just need to keep it afloat.
We want to break even, but, you know, there you go again. If you're going to charge people, they're going to want us to pick it up at their house. I would, you know.
Well, the thing of it is, though, if we charge, say, 15 bucks is the number everybody's throwing out. Say we charge 15 bucks a house. Well, contract, these little contractors you got already out here doing this anyway, contract them through the county, pay them through the county fund with the $15 charge that they're doing for every household. Let them bring it in, and that way you're saving at least 2 truck driver jobs and at least 6 compactor jobs. It'll hold itself up. It won't have to worry about being contracted out or anything else. It'll be a county-owned thing. It'll still be ours, but it will still hold jobs too. You're not cutting jobs that way. You're actually creating jobs.
Where would they take the garbage?
Well, it would still be took off. That's what I'm saying. The $15 charge would be partial pay to the collectors, and then the rest of it would go because it'd still be county-owned. And it would still be county drivers and everything taking it still down.
But how would the county then generate the money? You know, to
You gotta
pay
have start.
for the.
What about startup fees?
Well, we've already got everything in place. All we have to do is start charging.
In essence, though, it's still the same. If you're charging somebody $15, they're having to bring it to the transfer station themselves versus $15 and somebody pick it up at your doorstep.
That's what I'm saying. Contract those individuals to come and pick it up. The county could, not individuals, county. Let them say, okay, we'll gather you up enough trucks, we'll write a contract out. You know, you'll make this much a month, this is what you're going to make. You pick up this trash, bring it to us.
It sounds good, but in that situation, you have to have basically a franchise. You have to have one individual company.
The problem that we have.
We're responsible for the whole thing.
The problem that we have in contracting like that is the people that are hauling, they work on cash basis only. And you couldn't write.
So it's tax-free. They're getting tax-free money.
Yeah.
Don't hope we work.
Well, that's tax money you're losing then, because they're getting cash
You know,
basis.
that's the thing about it is, you know, we either gotta do mandatory garbage pickup, get out of business, totally together. We gotta want to stay in it, we gotta raise revenue. It's as simple as that. Now, if you want to raise revenue, tell me what you want to do, we'll move on. If you want to cut this budget, the more than it's already cut, we'll do that and move on. But we got to move on.
Well, what he's talking about, if, say you charge everybody flat rate $10 a month, how much money is that gonna generate?
If you put $10 a month, say on water bill, they have about 3,600 water bills, okay? If we did, say we collected 3,500 water bills, that's $35,000 a month, that would be about $420. Now, if you did that, you would have to give the water company something, probably $1 for collecting it, and then if they saved us $150,000, we might be able to do it.
But you'd still have control over it.
We would still, it would stay like it is.
And they couldn't raise it unless the magistrate said so.
Right.
Well, that's in essence what it would be anyway. They have to come forth to the court to get any kind of raise.
Yeah,
Not if
the franchise, I've talked to, I talked to Tucker, yeah, on franchise, John.
Yeah.
Over in Johnson County, they have a franchise with Apple Valley, and they have a solid waste commission that they have to come before that commission to do anything in the above, like if they want a quarter a raise or they want $2 raise, that commission has to approve that. Now, the commission over there, I don't know if it's their fiscal court. You know, if we had something like that, I'd rather it be our fiscal court, be the solid waste commission, other than have to appoint another board.
Myself, I know everybody may not agree with this, but I don't care to cut so much, so much back on your sanitation contract, and so much back on the sanitation gasoline, because we'll hopefully be going hauling it up there. Cut so much on your fire department, so much on your rescue squad.
We've already cut that in half.
So much on the community center.
You can't cut anything on sanitation now, because we gotta add to it.
But what I'm saying, if you're hauling it 15 mile instead of 100 mile,
Well,
there's no way your gasoline's gonna be the same.
It's gonna be more than that though, because that's for 6 months.
That's for 6 months, right? But I mean, that's what, I'd rather work it that way, but you know, everybody has to be in agreement, and I know that, so. Look at it, if we can come up with something that works, I'm for it.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
The way I understand this is, you've got your budget good for 6 months.
Right.
That's the way we're going. If they pass this budget, basically, them guys has got 6 months to figure out whether they're gonna cut garbage or they're gonna cut everything else.
Right.
Is that the way?
That's the way it is.
So therefore, if they pass this budget, they're not saying we're gonna cut the garbage out.
No.
They're saying we've gotta get to this number.
Right. Now,
But if we pass this budget now, when December goes around, then it has to be franchised out.
no.
No.
If you
gotta figure out how to meet the end of the number. They're saying we
At
gotta raise
that point in
money.
time, we had to come up with
Revenue to pay it.
$100,000 out of the budget then to make the garbage go.
And if you believe that cooker up there can do it, that'd be great. 6 months.
I believe it. My point is this, and I'm just saying this, I work here, but I'm also a citizen. My point is this,
Save us all.
you're only gonna have as much money as you're gonna have.
Right.
You're gonna have to meet that number. So if you pass this budget, you're saying, we're gonna get to this number. And within the next 3 months, you can say, okay, our revenue is picked up, or they've opened up a mine, or it's worse, or the cooker's running and that's gonna help us, or it's not running. And at that time, you can figure out whether you're gonna cut your fire departments, your senior citizens, or you're gonna cut garbage. I mean, you all have got that much money to work with, and you've got 6 months to figure out how you're gonna work with it. I don't know why you know, in my opinion, just sitting back here, why you wouldn't pass a budget, and you can make a statement on TV and in open court. I am passing this budget, but I am not voting to cut the garbage.
It ain't gonna do no good if it stinks.
Huh?
If I knew.
You have 6 months. You have 6 months instead of 6 hours.
We don't know.
What's the
That's
difference?
the sad part about it. I wish the people up there
Done a good job, Mike.
say
Really.
they did.
It's not gonna do it.
Go back too far. They've been down it 12 years.
The thing about this budget, Don, it gives us 6 months to Test those people out up there and see how much that's gonna help.
And it ain't gonna be, and in 6 months' time then, it ain't gonna go mandatory unless we vote on it then.
All right, we have to do but listen to me. We'll be in the same position in 6 months from now that we are right now. We'll have to cut $300,000 out.
in 6 months.
You know, you're not voting on mandatory garbage tonight, you're voting on balanced budget.
Okay, but if we vote on this balanced budget tonight, is that what we lived in from this year till next year on this budget?
For a fiscal year, but remember, your budget can be amended and changed throughout the fiscal year.
So will we have to generate some kind of revenue to meet this budget as it is?
Or cuts.
No, or cuts. Have to do one or two. Now, after 6 months, but in come our December, come Christmas time, John, if we ain't figured out something, we either have to raise the revenue to keep the garbage in or cut $300,000 in. We'll be in the same shape 6 months from now we are today.
Yeah.
So we've got a 6 months leeway time. We'll have public hearings. We'll do anything to get the public's input to see what's the best suits them.
It's going to be the same decision then that it is now.
Same decision now. The only thing about the decision in December, we ain't gonna have those three gentlemen looking at us.
Unless you send them another letter.
No, I didn't send them that. I called them.
And everybody keeps working, that's one thing.
But also, by that time, you'll know whether the cooker's running, you'll know, some of these things that everybody's just speculating on, you'll know what's what. You'll know whether our revenue's up or down, you'll know whether the cooker's running or not running.
So can they cut it?
Right, they can transfer money on a line item, and the Treasury County Treasurer knows all about that.
In 6 months from now, we got to cut it and come up and pay the garbage.
I can move that appropriations around.
I ain't giving nothing the rest of the year.
Yeah, you can amend it after.
Hey, Judge.
We're gonna be making the same.
On the garbage stuff, in the next 6 months, it'll stay as same as it is right now?
Yep.
Yep.
Now, in 6, we'll be at the table again if we don't have something figured out about our garbage situation. We'll be making the same decision in December as we need to make now.
It's either raise revenue, make cuts, it's the same as it is now.
Same as this.
You're kicking the can down the road, folks.
You're kicking the can down the road. But,
You know, if you pass your budget tonight, and if this company up here happens to take garbage, then we can amend it. We can amend it.
Exactly. We can make the changes right here.
But then, guess what, though? If we don't, we're gonna have to cut the garbage out first of the year.
yeah,
Unless you come up with a money raised revenue.
We've got 6 months to do
Let's
that.
don't pull the rug over nobody's eyes. That's what you are facing. You're just putting it out for
We'll be
6 months
facing the
down
same
road.
exact thing we're
That's
facing
exactly
now.
right.
It's not gonna be
That's it.
different.
It's, you know. But your duty is to pass.
Who up, Pam, Bob? What gets you, brother?
I got a question, about all these prisons what owns the Johnson County. They're getting all the money over in Johnson County for the prison. Why can't we build a jail and that money just bring?
I'll give you a whole list of counties that would love to get rid of their jail because it's costing them about $1 million a year in taxpayers' money. We're on, our budget for our jails about $437,000. Floyd County, they asked to enter, they wanted to close their jail. The judge first come in 8 years ago and wanted to join our regional jail concept because it was breaking them. All these little local jails around, they are breaking their counties. And they're spending money because it's a mandate to have a jail. They're spending money where they could be spending to help their citizens to go toward their jails.
Johnson County's getting all the money.
Brad?
Okay. What I want to ask a couple of questions about garbage dump here, transfer station that I'm in here. Yeah, I feel it's located too close to the residents there. I come to this court once before, about 2 years ago. A couple of magistrates wasn't on there, two different ones, but the rest might recall I was here. And the compactor is not 100 feet from my front door. And it's affecting where different stuff's being deposited there. It's coming across the road, and I feel it's not safe. And I was wanting to see if the fiscal court would consider moving the transfer station to the back lot. There's a lot behind the back fence there that's got gravel, it's got pipes and so forth stacked there. Why couldn't they move the transfer station back there and put more distance between the transfer station and the people living on the south side of Route 40? What I'm saying here is because I'd like to see the fiscal court come up with an ordinance where they could not be located within 500 feet of a residence, because we all know the people working there does a good job, but they cannot watch everything that goes in those containers, you know, and where they have to compact them down to get more in a container, it releases stuff in the air. And I know everybody around me has suffered a lot of health problems, you know. And I live, like I say, it's not 100 feet from my front door, the one here at INS. You know, without costing the county a lot of money, I feel that everything could be moved behind the back fence, and they could transfer the gravels and pipes and things that's back there up to the front section near the highway. And it would be safe, and it would be causing anybody any problems. And there's one more issue I wanted to mention is every day we have a holiday, or at night, people are constantly throwing trash out. I'm up every day picking trash up out my driveway. That's uncalled for. And apparently the law enforcement will not fine these people. I always thought it was a $500 fine to litter. That is littering beside the highway when you throw garbage out and it's closed up.
It is a fine for littering.
It should be.
If they come to court, they're going to be fined for littering.
I mean, how many tickets has ever been written?
Each one, if you find out information, give it to the police if there's a name or anything on it.
I'm just going to have to start putting a camera out and photographing it.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Yeah. Because, I mean, and it's not just, it's all walks of people.
If they litter and they come to court, they will be fined. If the jury finds them guilty, because I won't dismiss it.
Well, if they're on
And I've never have,
tape, if they're on tape, putting it out, I think that's all a man needs. And the next holiday, if people's dumping there, I have no choice, because I'm tired of it.
Bring it to court.
You got a list of those people who have been fined?
It's public records, Secretary Orange. Public records.
I'd like to see it because we've
Go in
taken
there
care
tomorrow
of
morning.
it. People go out and talk to them.
It's public records.
Nothing happens.
Anybody that's been on court for littering, see if it's been dismissed. It's public records. You have access to it just like I do.
Well, I read the paper quite often. I never seen one arrested.
I'm saying, the ones who've been cited, I don't cite them. I prosecute when they come to court.
But it just keeps getting worse and nobody does
Well,
nothing but talking about it.
each person needs to do their job. That's what this government's supposed to be so great. We're all having jobs and everything.
Yeah, that's what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do tonight too.
See, this puts more workers on the county workers there, who I feel does a good job. But each morning I've watched them, they've had to work for 2 hours cleaning up the mess beside the fence there. You know, that's not right. They need to be taken in and some tickets written out by the law enforcement. They do.
Sorry to interrupt you, but we need to get back on the budget.
That's what I'm here for.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Brad.
Thank you.
We'll look into that though. Yeah, that's a good idea. It needs to be back there close to that sewer.
Well, yeah, but it all is back there, you know. And since you all are going maybe pass the budget for 6 months, within that 6 months, I think that should be able
It's
to
not a
work it out in
6
6
month
months.
It's a year.
Yes, sir.
Judge, here's the point. Obviously, the court will discuss your budget. And we're going to go back to Frankfurt and hopefully work things out.
I hope we
wish
can
you
pass
best luck. But at this point, we're not providing any service to you. So.
All right, we appreciate y'all.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Good seeing you.
You seem like that, yes.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Okay.
Good to see you.
All right.
Well, Bo, you be careful.
I will. Thank you, Judge, I appreciate
Thank you
it.
for coming up.
I hope I know. I come back on a nice visit. Y'all cook out or something. All right.
Okay, guys, what do you want to do, guys? Don't matter to me. We make this decision now, we can make it 6 months. We'll do here.
You need a motion to see if you got a second and vote.
I got a motion in a second.
Second already, I thought it was just a reading.
No, I made a motion. I made the motion, Victor second.
Okay, for both.
For both what?
Reading, approval of the reading and for a vote to adopt the budget.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta make the changes first, don't we?
If you all want to change, that's what he's asking. What do you want to change?
Well, we can sit here all night, guys. It don't matter to me. We can sit all weekend.
Everybody get, if you want, make cuts, everybody get their budget, let's go down. I don't know any other way to do it. Do you?
Hush came over the crowd.
They're waiting on us, I think.
We get a little quiet when you try to take more money off of us.
I'm willing to sit here all night.
I ate before I came over here.
From my understanding, by if they were to vote yes on this budget, there's nothing set in stone on that budget besides the simple fact that that's the amount of money they have to work with.
Exactly.
And that money is not going to change whether they vote yes or no, correct?
We don't know this.
But we gotta come back in 6 months though.
We don't
And
know.
either raise
But by
revenue,
voting yes,
And make a
you're
decision.
continuing the county working,
that's the way it is.
and by voting no, you're shutting the complete
Right.
county down.
Exactly.
So if all magistrates vote yes, they still have a voice and a right to change stuff on the budget.
So
So,
we would have to.
Yeah.
We have no choice.
But we got 6
but
months
there
window.
doesn't have to be any set thing decided today, except for the fact that you can run the county on that set
Right.
amount of money.
Well, it needs to be done, you'd have to
Right.
pass the budget, like they told us, before July the 1st. A balanced budget, that's what happened.
I don't see why we can't do it.
Well, you got them back, but
I agree.
if you pack it down, you come back, if you get to work in 2 months, you can come back and vote on in, you can wait 6 months.
No, yeah, we can do that, but what I'd like to do is get the budget passed, and over the next couple months, have hearings, and let people come in and voice their opinion on what they feel that we should do. And then maybe by the 3rd or 4th month, we'll have that figured out, and then we'll be at that point, we'll be at this same situation we are now, but we're under mandate now. We have to do something by the 1st of July, or
Okay, so how many things can we cut? So we've discussed what we would be cutting. We'd be cutting our fire departments, right? We'd be cutting our senior citizens. We'd be cutting our community center. We'd be cutting parks and recreation. You know, so Is that still gonna be the same choices in 6 months? Or is it
No.
gonna be different?
No, well, we do that now, though, with the budget, you know, we would have funded the garbage fully for a year. Then the next time, and this time.
What I'm saying is, the cuts is gonna be the same today that they're gonna be 6 months from now, if you're gonna make cuts. The revenue is gonna be the same if you're gonna raise revenue.
No, if it, recycling place up over kids' office.
No, we can't work in fantasy land.
If they start up running in 2 months, well, that ain't gonna be the same, we have something to work with.
I know,
we have a job to do, we can't say if.
That's not gonna make up the 800.
It's, you know.
We're still gonna be 600,000.
Do a budget based on if.
budget 300,000.
My point is the decision to make today is the same decision we'll have to make in 6 months.
Right.
It ain't gonna be no different. I don't understand why.
We're mandated to do it now, we won't be in.
Exactly.
You won't be.
You know, it is not the point
Yes, sir.
anybody wants to take money
I've
from
sat here
anybody.
and listened, and I've heard the 7 layoffs coming with the deputies and what have you. But has anyone cared to guess or look at the future of the guys that work the dump right now? Because you know, if you bring in an outside interest, they're not going to keep the guys that's working here now. They're gone. Exactly.
They're gone.
There's a key to that, though. We have to do a franchise agreement with them, and in that agreement, if that's the way we go, in that agreement, we would have the agreement. The guy that we talked to, the 2 people that we've talked to, have all said they would have to have those employees. So, but we can limit that to the franchise agreement, what we do with.
Well, yeah, but then you were discussing the $15
And they're gonna lose,
a month.
but the ones that's full-time is gonna lose what retirement working for this other company.
Right, but you talk about, you said that the agreement, they would start it at 15 a month and then it would go up to 30. Who's to say that once they put these guys to work in 2 months, they don't get rid of them anyway?
That's true. That's true.
But as far as the price and everything, it would be a franchise, and it would be set by this body right here. We would still have that decision-making ability as far as making the decisions on what's charged to the citizens, what's not. You know, it's not about us wanting to take money out of people's pockets. We're trying to balance the budget, and we're trying to find a fair way to balance the budget. So if you have a house and you generate garbage, and one of our largest costs is getting rid of the garbage, doesn't it make sense as the fairest way for each person to pay for their garbage? What is unfair about that? I don't understand what is unfair.
Well,
The fact that we're already supposed to be paying for it ought to be an OTAX.
That's fair.
We're already taxing.
We're already supposed to be paid for it ought to be an OTAX.
Did you hear the revenue that we've lost?
Well, yeah, but the whole thing, you have taken from him what it was for. The first thing was free garbage, so you have taken from him to give it to the other.
Okay.
But that was no, you used that, you said, we're going to do away with free garbage unless we pass this tax. That was your words, his words.
Okay.
So you all passed it. You scared the rest of them, said, okay, we got to do it.
Okay.
Now, 11 years later, same thing. Well, we used that money, so you robbed Peter to pay Paul, right? You robbed Peter, which is B&O tax, to pay Paul where you should have been cutting other places. Not the fire department, not the sheriff's department. There's more in fire department, sheriff's department. For instance, how many places get gravel and hard top that don't even need it?
Let's say it like this, okay?
They shouldn't get it.
I'll say it like this. If you make $1,000 a year and you lose 500 of it, you have to adjust what you're paying for. It doesn't matter what budget it comes from, doesn't matter where you take it from, we've still lost that money.
Whenever it was already mandated.
We still lost the revenue. It don't matter where you lose it from, it's lost. So we can take it and put it into this fund, but then what are you going to do about the other fund that you took it out of?
But what I'm saying is it never should have been took from you. That was the purpose of passing it.
Okay. All right. We got one mine operating in the county now when we had 10 or so. When those mines shut down, we also lost on the occupational tax side because those people are no longer working. They're no longer paying. So everybody out here understands a household budget, right? When you lose $500, it's lost. You've got to either cut what you're spending
Or get a second job.
get a second job or something, raise revenue. That's the situation your county is in right now. We have lost revenue. You know, you can go back to 2003, so this is what we said and all that. Well, that's fine and dandy. 2014, we've kept free garbage for 12 more years. We've done the biggest favor we can do, and we've took it as far as we can take it, in my opinion. And that might make somebody mad, but I'm just saying, the fairest way to do it is if you generate garbage to your house, you should help pay to get rid of it. I'm just saying the fairest way. Is it the best way? Do I really want to do that? No. You know, I'm just like these other guys. I want to get reelected too, but I've got a job and I'm charged with doing the finances of this county. That's what I'm charged with, and I'm going to make the best decision for everybody involved. Even my mom. Go back to that, $793, already paying $15 a month. And my mom, bless her heart, I have to cut her grass for her every time it gets cut, but she's paying $15 a month right now. So what is not personally responsible about taking care of your own garbage? It's personal responsibility.
You're already taxing us to death, and not just the federal government.
And we still can't make it. We still can't make it. That's the thing. We don't want to do it, but we still don't have the money coming in to pay for what we got going out.
You can only tax people so much. All they've got is...
And that's and perfect point. Now, what are we going to do? Tax the working man again? Or are we going to tax everybody that has household garbage?
I don't mind.
That's the choice we got. That's the choice we got. So if you generate garbage, it should be that you were willing to pay for it.
Well,
and I would say everybody else
when they come in, they say don't mind, hey, well, keep the can open.
Keep it down, that's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Let me give
but when you
you,
lose money, you have to make adjustments.
Let me give you an example. There's a county in Tennessee that has the same exact service we do. They have a transfer station, the residents go, throws it in, the county hauls it off. They call them county mayors down there. Same job I have in Kentucky. I said, how much your garbage cost you? He said, about $850,000 a year. I said, well, it cost me about $6. And I said, I noticed you had a 2.75 optional sales tax. I said, your state has a 9.75 sales tax, but 2.75% of that sales tax goes to the county. So down in that county in Tennessee, just across the border, they get 2.75 sales tax. Now, they don't go pay for garbage, okay? I said, well, how do you pay for your garbage? He said, well, we pay for garbage through the property tax. And I said, how much is your property tax? And he said, well, it's $2.50. And I said, okay, so you're telling me it's $250 for $100,000 assessment. And he said, no, I'm telling you it's $2,500 for a $100,000 assessment to live in that county in Tennessee. So he went down, and I can't remember all of them. I know the school board was 73 cents, but the one I was really interested in was the 17 cents that went to pay for their garbage. So no, it's not free. The property owners pay for it. Our tax is 11.2, the county tax. Now the school board's pretty high, but all of our taxes added up is probably less than $1, and they're paying $2.50. Now, do they have the best of everything down there? Yes, they probably do, because they've got money run out both ears. But that was just a per example. I didn't think we had any systems like we got, but there's one in Granger County, Tennessee, and you know, anybody's more than welcome, and that's how they pay for their garbage. Now, you want to raise the property tax 17 cents?
You don't better than ask me that.
We already pay too much tax.
Callie, can I speak?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're already paying 68.6 cents to the school tax.
Right.
You know, vote that in.
Yeah.
How much tax do you first think that the people can stand?
I don't know.
I mean,
that's why that's why Mr. D-Line, this court right here, hasn't raised property taxes in probably 30 years.
Not raised the tax on the people.
That's what makes this so tough. That's what makes this a tough decision.
30 years,
nobody
I know
wants to
this
charge
court's
anybody.
never raised the tax.
You don't care. I ain't finished. I want you to pay a small fee at the dump to keep them as they are. And let the county run them, don't have to get outside help at all. We take care of our own.
See, that's a decision that we have to make.
They can do it if they come up with the money, that's what we're saying.
Just a small fee, I mean, yeah, we got people here that probably don't draw $500–600 a month, I don't know. I draw good money, I work, you know, giving them jobs. I mean, top money.
The court can
But
keep
a lot of
that,
people ain't.
they can keep the garbage
That's
this
what
way
we're
if they
saying.
come
We
through
would have to
there.
raise money.
I got
Charge them.
confidence in Darrell, John, and Maynard, boy, and Gary Hunt. But now, I don't believe you really got the best interest of your people at heart.
I've sat here and explained about as good as I can explain it, so you know, when you lose money, you gotta make up for it.
Sir, I don't know, I know you're not, but I knowed him for a long time, and Victor's a pretty good boy, and I think he really is trying his best with what he's talking about. I really think he believes that in his heart. But I also brought my heart along with the lines of somebody on $400, $500, $600 a month, it's gonna be hard for him to pay. But like you said, if everybody in the county could pay a little bit after that, I mean,
Why couldn't you put a couple dollars on the, every time somebody lights in the car?
You know, Carol, you can answer that, can you do
There's
that?
probably more people that lights in the car than water bills.
Well, it may be that too.
Guys, you still gotta raise money. I mean, that's what you're talking about. We're talking about raising money.
That's what I just said.
Either way you go. Even you yourself, sir, said you'd pay a little bit, correct?
I don't care about stuff, small.
Okay, that's what we're saying. That's what we're talking about here.
Keep it like we got.
Well, that's what, okay.
That's an option they can do.
Now, let's
They
say
come up
Apple,
with the money.
let's say for example, okay, if they came in, it would still be transfer stations available. They would still be there.
The county take care of it, the county haul it, and then use the money we pay them to do.
Keep everybody working. That's my option.
Do the contract now, do it yourself.
That's what he's saying.
So you want to charge our $15? Okay. He said he didn't charge nobody nothing, so how are we gonna pay for it?
I ain't the only vote here.
I know what I'm saying.
Yes, sir, you got another person.
The question I've got is these people that got well instead of city water, how they're going to pay the bill. All right. Another thing is these people in this county that's drawing just enough to pay their rent and get a few groceries and stuff like that, but they can't afford no more bills on it. And I'd like to know why that we don't have the money. Just like John said, go to that burner up there. Put it in there and scorch it.
We're all for that. It's what
It's not working.
You know, the thing is, if it was working, they'd already be taking it because that's our agreement.
And we could make a money off of it.
So it's not operational right now.
They're just doing it, they told the judge and I today, we asked today, did they not tell us they were doing demonstration purposes only?
Doing demonstration or testing burns.
And I asked them.
That's what they told
When
us.
we come over
Doing
here.
testing with, but they said they was hoping to have it up and running and
That's good. I agree, I said, would you please give us something in writing that you will take it so we can tell the people of this county? He said, you know, Keenest, we can't do that. So I asked, he asked. I went up there.
We asked for a letter for tonight's meeting.
Yes, so we could show everybody.
And they wouldn't do it.
I wish they could, trust me. I wish they
Maybe
could.
we need to call them to court and make them give us a day or tell them to move on.
They're not moving on because they ain't doing nothing.
Been working on it for 12 years.
Here's the problem. You all got a budget to pass
Like the guy said, he spent $56 million. You think he's going to set up on top of it?
No, I think he's going to try to get him a patent and sell it, and I don't think he's going to stay up here in Martin County, haul garbage off for $1.75, we'd pay him a ton, when he could sell it for millions.
No, actually, the $1.75 a ton in the tax goes to the state.
I think they want to get them, and I don't blame him if I spent that kind of money. But the problem is, it's not in the future. We have a deadline.
Time
Hey, Keenest, can I say
And I
something?
wish they were successful. Trust me, I wish they was.
Ms. Bedelia, do you want to speak?
Yes. Keenest,
Yes, ma'am.
Palm Beach County tried working with this group that you're talking about, the burner group, okay? And they could never live up to their, the promises they made the Board of County Commissioners in Palm Beach County, over and over and over again. Finally, the EPA shut them down and would not approve anything in Florida.
They first come to the court, ma'am, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, almost 12 years ago.
I know.
They said if we'd put them in the garbage plan and let them test this, eventually we would haul the garbage out.
Yeah.
I'm here 12 years later. I don't think a bag of my garbage ever went there.
Yeah.
Unless somebody stole it and threw it over their head.
If it ever becomes
Okay.
operational, that is an option we have that we would definitely take advantage of. You know, we definitely wouldn't pass that up, you know.
I just made mention because I thought, hey, you're hanging your hopes on this,
Yeah,
that, and
and
that
everybody's
out there, and-
trying to structure this as garbage or not garbage. That's not what we're here for. It's
Yeah.
a budget.
We're trying to balance
part
the
of it,
budget, you know, and how is a fair play, in my opinion, to do that. So
Yeah.
that's all I know.
Well, I'm part-time and I pay for girls already, so.
You know, listen to me, I hope and pray this. But,
See,
you know,
that's
we
what-
can't go on wishing that.
Bill been holding his hand up.
Okay, I've heard, my name's William Murphy, I'm a lifetime resident of Warfield, most of you know me. The question is, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 members of the fiscal court sitting here, am I right?
Well, you got 6.
Well, 6, well, county attorney, 6, okay. How much is in y'all's annual budget for y'all's total salary per year?
I don't care to tell you, mine's in there. Mine's public record.
Magistrate's
I know it's public record, I'm
Magistrate's about 23,000 a year. For the magistrate.
Mine's in there, I don't care a bit, tell you.
About 23,000 a year each magistrate gets something.
You ain't getting none of my money, Bill.
I'm trying to get some of the money you're running for office.
That's $160,000 a year.
Yeah,
You're talking about cutting everything else. Think about it.
That's what we're thinking.
Now you get 160,000 out of 20, you get 5 times 20. How you come up to 160?
I thought he said 26, 27.
Well, 23. That's not what he said.
23,
Yeah.
okay.
They gotta eat too, Bill.
I know that.
How they gonna pay the bill. All right. Another thing is these people in this county that's drawing just enough to pay their rent and get a few groceries and stuff like that, but they can't afford no more bills on. And I'd like to know why that we don't have the money. Just like John said, go to that burner up there. Put it in there and scorch it.
We're all for that. It's what,
It's not working.
you know, the thing is, if it was working, they'd already taken it because that's our agreement.
And we could make the money off of it.
So
2%.
it's not operational right now.
They're just doing it. They told the judge and I today, we asked
It's not operational.
today, did they not tell us they were doing demonstration purposes only?
Doing demonstration or testing burns.
And I asked them. we
That's
asked
what
them
they told
when
us.
we come over
Good
here.
testing would, but they said they was hoping to have it up and done and
That's it. I agree. I agree. I said, would you please give us something in writing that we will take it so we can tell the people of this county? He said, you know, Keenest, we can't do that. So I asked him, he asked him. I went up there.
We asked for a letter for tonight's meeting.
Yes,
that
so we
they'll
could
take
show
it
everybody.
July, and they wouldn't do it.
I wish they could, trust me. I wish they
Maybe
could.
we need to call them to court and make them give us a day or tell them to move on.
They're not moving on because they ain't doing nothing.
Been working on it for 12 years now.
12
They ain't
years.
done nothing.
Here's the problem. You all got a budget to pass or
Like
by.
the guy said, he spent $56 million. You think he's gonna just set up on top of it?
No, I think he's gonna try to get him a patent and sell it, and I don't think he's gonna step here in Martin County, haul garbage off for for $1.75, we'd pay him a ton, when he could sell it for millions.
No, actually, the $1.75 a ton in the tax goes
Taxes,
to the
yeah,
state.
I think they wanna get them, and I don't blame them if I spent that kind of money. But the problem is, it's not in the future, we have a deadline.
Time
Hey, Keenest, can I say
And I wish
something?
they were successful, trust me, I wish they was.
Ms. Padilla, do you want to speak?
Yes. Keenest,
Yes, ma'am.
Palm Beach County tried working with this group that you're talking about, the burner group, okay? And they could never live up to their, the promises they made the Board of County Commissioners in Palm Beach County, over and over and over again. Finally, the EPA shut them down and would not approve anything in Florida.
They first come to the court, ma'am, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, almost 12 years ago.
I know.
They said if we'd put them in the garbage plan and let them test this, eventually we would haul our garbage out. I'm here 12 years later. I don't think a bag of my garbage ever went there.
Yeah.
Unless somebody stole it and threw it over there.
If it ever becomes operational, that is an option we have that we would definitely take advantage of. You know, we definitely wouldn't pass that up, you know.
I just made mention because I thought, hey, you're hanging your hopes on this,
Yeah,
that,
and
thing
everybody's
out there,
trying to structure this as garbage or not garbage. That's not what we're here for. It's a budget.
We're trying to balance
part
the
of it,
budget, you know, and how is a fair play, in my opinion, to do that. So that's all I know.
Well, I'm part-time and I pay for garbage already, so.
You know, listen to me, I hope and pray that. But
See,
you know,
that's
we
what-
can't go on wishing that.
Bill?
Okay.
Okay, I'm Ryan William Murphy. I'm a lifetime resident of Warfield. Most of you know me. The question is, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 members of the fiscal court sitting here, am I right?
Well, you've got 6.
Well, 6, well, county attorney, 6, okay. How much is in y'all's annual budget for y'all's total salary per year?
I don't care to tell you, mine's in there. Mine's public record.
Magistrate's
Well, I know it's public record, I'm
Magistrate's about $23,000 a year. For the magistrate.
Mine's in there, I don't care a bit to tell you.
About $23,000 a year each magistrate gets.
You ain't getting none of my money, Bill.
I'm trying to get some of the money you're running for office.
That's $160,000 a year.
Yeah,
You're talking about cutting everything else. Think about it.
That's what we're thinking.
How you get 160,000 out of 20, 5 times 20? How you get up to 160?
I thought he said 26 or 27.
That's not what he said.
23,
Yeah.
okay.
They gotta eat too, Bill.
I know that.
I don't think it pays enough, see?
Let me tell you, I think you boys do a great job. You're over a barrel. The easiest way out, it ain't no easy way out.
We've never raised our salaries since we've been
And
here.
listen, I appreciate working with you, let me tell you, I think you're honest, but you got a tough decision right now. You know there's not $800,000 here. You got, what are you gonna do? Do what's right for the benefit of everybody, like he said, you can make everybody pay something a little, and keep the garbage here like yours. But you gotta do something. We gotta pass a budget. If not, trust me, you hear these guys from here, they didn't drive from Frankfurt and try to bluff us. They're telling you the truth. It's been done. They're going to do it. You're going to pass a budget, whether or not it's tonight or later. You know that. You've been to meetings like I have. You've been to training sessions. You know you got to do it. We can't pile it off on the state. We have a job to do, and I'd ask you, please, search your heart. Search your heart and do what's right in your heart.
Excuse me, can I address the court, please?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd just like to say, it's a tough decision for everybody, and I know it's one that my husband, Victor, has really dealt truly from the bottom of his heart with. It's not a decision that he's just made on the spur of the moment. But we've also checked, if the fire departments get cut, we're going to pay $3,000 to $5,000 more per year. Every household in the whole entire county that has fire insurance, that's what you're looking at. Because if your fire departments even get cut in half, they can't operate. Is that right, Greg? Can you can you keep your doors open? No.
Are you saying, I didn't hear you right, are you saying if you don't get the money from the court that they're cut, you couldn't operate?
They will have to close their doors. They will have to close their doors. They can't operate.
No, they can't.
And then if we don't have the fire departments, who's going to put, and we have fires every day, who's going to put the fires out? What insurance company in this county or in any other county is going to insure us? They're not.
If you have mortgages,
If you have a mortgage,
you have to
you
pay
have to
fire
have
insurance.
insurance, fire insurance. What are the people gonna do? I mean, really and truly, we
You know
don't
what you're
know if it's gonna be
saying? If there's
$15 a
three-
month,
if there's
it may be
3,000
30. I would be willing to pay $300 more per year to have this done than to have to pay $3,000 to $5,000 because our fire departments have to close because our county can't support them.
Chrissy, may I ask you a question? Did you not ask one of the insurance agencies how many
Thank you,
homes
honey.
they have
You're welcome.
covered in the county? Say,
Mike Crone had spoken with Bill Davis.
how many did he say? Am I mistaken, 2,000 to 2,500?
He said it was anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 increase.
Per
year. Per
So
year.
every 1,000, that's at least $1.5
With a person that has
million on people up to
$75,000.
$4.5 million?
You don't have to back
If a
off the
person
bill.
At the fire department? Well, it's anywhere, where you gonna get it?
I
It's
can tell you,
anywhere.
the fiscal court gives the fire department $35,000 a year. That's what each fire department in INS. And that's $15,000 for Tomahawk Station, $15,000 for INS Station, and $5,000 for the one at Coldwater. Our insurance alone costs $15,000 a year. That's our insurance to cover us in case accidents happen or someone gets hurt and the coverage on our bill. Our fuel bill is roughly a low ball estimate at $5,000 a year. We have purchased a truck through the fire department to help up the coverage to our citizens. That payment a year is $15,000. So between the truck payment, our insurance payment, and our fuel bill, our money's gone from what the fiscal court gives us.
If you don't get that,
If we don't get $35,000, at least $35,000 from you, we will
You'd have to
cease to
shut down.
exist, we'll shut down, and then therefore your fire rating will go from a 7 to a 10.
and that's, are you saying, at least, am I mistaken? That's $1,000 at least, to $3,000 per home that's insured?
Yes.
The way I understand it,
That's anywhere.
I pay $1,000,
$3
I pay
million to
almost
$6
$1,000 a
million.
year.
The
I pay
people
almost
gonna pay.
$1,000 a year on my homeowners, and it's required because I got a mortgage.
Are you out here
That
that?
$1,000 will double, maybe even triple, if they will even cover me. The insurance provider will cover me with no fire coverage. So you cut your fire departments, we have to shut the doors. That means that no responding to nothing, because we won't have no way to pay our bills either.
Back in the 80s, when every piece of equipment we had, all the fire hydrants had to be pressure tested for water flow and pressure. Even though they're not classified as fire hydrants, they are flush boxes for these water systems. When this rating went into effect the first time, after about a year, they came in, they went through, we had to pull hoses off the trucks, they counted how many feet we had, how many nozzles, how much first aid equipment, tire packs, everything was counted. First rating we got was a 6.9. Homeowners insurance, one man told me that lived in Collins Creek in a double wide at the foot of the cemetery, his homeowners insurance was $2,200 a year. When that went into effect, he contacted his insurance company, told them it was in a class 6.9. His insurance went to $380 a month. Now, if the fire department goes under, probably won't even get no insurance.
Exactly.
Okay,
So,
I got a motion second. All in favor? All opposed? All right, at this time, Candace, this is a regular meeting. I'm going to add something to the agenda, which is an executive session to discuss the pending litigation that will happen on Tuesday morning. And motion go executive session. Second. All in favor?